Karen. I hope you're doing well in this moment, in the previous moment, in the coming moments. Today, our theme is integrity, not in the way that that the definition of it has sort of evolved, but Martha Beck, who is an author and a counselor and more, has over the years determined that if you think about integrity as the origin of the word integer from Latin, it essentially means to be intact. So, as we think about all the things that cause us suffering, including our own responses to things, the notion is that you work toward bringing all the components of your being together, and really embracing all of those components and finding the things that really make you whole. As an example, you might love part of your job, but you dislike another part and it kind of brings you down. So today we'll work with the toolbox of yoga, the yoking together toward integrity. And that pretty much will mean driving to experience the full aspect of every pose. So the breath, the alignment of the body, the power of the body, what's in our mind and what's in our heart. So while I won't remind you of that for every posture, there will be a few where we'll take the time to remain in that shape and consider all those aspects of the being in that posture. So we're going to start as we do seated, as we do often, with a nice long spine. And we'll notice the breath. That's the first aspect of the yoking together of all of our piece parts is the breath. Without the breath, we would not live. Just notice it. Now loosen up a little bit, just checking in with some parts of the body to drive a bit of softness. So shrug the shoulders up to the ears, drop the hands by the sides. Press the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, breathe out, release. And again, up, breathe in, reach back, let it go. And up, back, down. Drop the chin to the chest. Let the head feel really heavy. Let gravity kind of draw a little, it's almost like bubble gum to your forehead to give a little bit of tautness there. And we'll take a little pendulum swing of the head, left and right. Each breath in, the chin comes toward the shoulder. Each breath out, the chin comes down toward the chest. Once the chin drops toward the chest, we bring it parallel to the earth, and then we take a look over the left shoulder. A breath in, and as you breathe out, maybe there's a micro twist, a little bit deeper, and the eyeballs roll all the way over to the left. Inhale, front and center. Exhale, turn your head the other way. Breath in. And turn, roll the eyeballs all the way to the right. Inhale, front and center, right, left ear drops toward the left shoulder. Bring the fingertips to the earth outside your body, left and right. And then crawl your right hand away from you a little bit. And see if you can take your left hand and place it just above the ear. You might feel a deeper stretch. We're not pulling or pushing, we're just resting to let the hand, that weight of the hand and gravity be our props. Chin drops to the chest, hand drops, we lift the head, and right ear, right shoulder. Right arm reaches up, hand lands on the head. Drop the hand, chin to the chest. Neck rolls to the right, nice and slow. Someone asked me the other day why there's so much popping and cracking here, and I think it's because we don't really move our neck that much. We get air pockets, and we get things sort of, I won't say stuck together, but a little tight. We're going to take that neck roll to the other side. Chin drops, becomes parallel to the earth. Arms lift up side to side. Engage, engage, engage. Which muscles are working? Where do you feel this? What is in your head? How is the breath working? What emotion are you feeling? Becoming one means human being, so that we're not diffused or defocused by human doing, at least in my mind. And we'll take some circles forward and backward, and larger circles forward, backward, and sweep the arms up overhead. Pinkies face one another. See if you can get longer here. Let's go ahead and press the palms together. We'll take a little tilt over to the right. See if you can keep the left sitting bone on the earth. Reach up to the sky and get long tilt to the left. We reach to the sky. We take an east-west pose, left arm forward, right arm behind us. Loosen the calves and the thighs to drop the knees. Inhale, front and center, arms overhead. And exhale, twist the other way. Gaze is over the back thumb, which is pointing up. Inhale, front and center. Cactus-shaped arms. Go ahead and close up the doors, as it were. Elbows lift. Maybe you feel that in your shoulders. Loosen your knees again. Inhale, open up. Exhale, hands behind you. Maybe you can interlace your fingers. Maybe you can't. Maybe you can hook your fingers. Maybe you can't. Maybe the heels of the hands need to be at the low back. And we draw the knuckles. If we are interlaced or hooked, we draw them down. Regardless of where we are, we work to open up the heart. And some people think of it as lifting the chin instead of lifting from the pelvis to the breastbone, driving the heart energy up toward the sky, broadening the collarbones and squeezing the shoulder blades. We're going to take a fold. So scoop your belly in, round your back, drop your head, and maybe your hands float away from your spine. Maybe they don't. As we rise up, the fingers plant behind us, facing your bottom. Lean back a little bit. Same thing here, finding a back bend. Draw the belly in and the pelvis for the tailbone forward to protect your low spine. Slowly draw the belly in, stack the shoulders over the hips, sweep the arms up, and sweep them back. Lean forward. Inhale up, sweep back. Inhale up, hands together at your heart. Now we'll come back to that consideration, integer integrity. Are all the piece parts coming together? Are you embracing, unifying, allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to be one? Starting with the breath, we notice it. We check in. Are we feeling a little over caffeinated or anxious or speedy? Maybe we spend more time on the exhale. Are we feeling under caffeinated or slow or logy or tired? Focus more effort and time on the in-breath. Notice what is in your mind. Can you unify that? And rather than thinking or making lists or saying, this is kind of boring, or, you came to your mat for a reason. What's the face doing? Can you relax it? From the crown of the head all the way to the ears and the nose and all the way to the jaw and the chin. What emotion is in your heart? Or maybe it's taking some physical sort of manifestation in the rest of your body. What are your shoulders doing, your back, your hips, your thighs and knees, your feet? In this meditative position, are you one with yourself? Do you feel suffering? No one likes to suffer. But as humans, our own response to things, our attachment to something we love or brings us joy, or our inability to let go of something that makes us angry, disallows integrity. We're going to release the hands to the ground and bring the legs nice and wide. Sit up nice and tall. There's a lot of nice in there. Reach the heels away from you. Hands can be anywhere, especially on the ends of your wrist. Take a peek over to the left knee. Sit up tall. Draw the belly in. And as you walk the hands down the outside of the leg, reach your heart forward, rather than rounding the spine and dropping the head. As you're creating this beautiful line of energy forward, above the toes. One way that we find or discover or establish integrity in our lives, in our bodies, our mind, our heart, our breath, our movement, our thought, our words, is to consider someone who loves us and whom we love unconditionally. Could be any kind of being. Imagine that being past your foot and your heart is connecting with theirs. Move toward the center. Reach up with your heart, lengthen your arms, extend your heart again, and then fold. Draw the belly, exhale, rise to your seat. We'll take a peek over the other knee, aligning your chest with that knee. That being of unconditional love is now over here, past, not touching, but a little, maybe a foot away from your foot. Sit up nice and tall, reach your heart forward, and find your fold. Inhale through center. Rise up a little bit. Another breath in. Reach your heart and fold. If you have something, walk back to your seat. If you have something underneath you, you're going to release that so that we can take the feet together with a nice big diamond inside our legs. Don't know how many carats that would be. It'll be a lot, I'm sure. You're welcome to either sit up tall here, if that feels right. Draw the belly in, the shoulders down. Find your breath. Check in with the body parts and the voice in your head, the feeling in your heart. Or you can scoot the wrists and hands underneath the ankles and reach forward with the heart. Use the elbows to kind of butterfly the legs outward and find a rounded spine. Drop your head. Breath out, rise back to your seat. Hands come outside your knees and lift them. Bring your soles of the feet to the ground. Your hands on your kneecaps. See if you can press the big toe mounds into the earth. This is really hard for some of us. Their feet might turn out or they might turn in and then you can't get the outside edge of the foot on the ground. We really want to work the tops of the feet and the ankles here. So see if you can sit up really tall, drop your shoulders, and press the feet to the earth. Very, very simple route to rooting ourselves into the ground, our root chakra, our root lock, our connection with material things. Autumn is a good time to be really connected to the earth, given the falling leaves, the change in temperature. It grounds us. Cross your ankles, roll over your feet, come into a tabletop. If anybody has wrist problems, I do have a new recommendation for you, which is for tabletop and or downward dog, anything using the wrists, just small weights, 3-pound weights, which align your wrists a little bit differently to help yourself out. You can bring them front to back or side to side. I recommend front to back for carpal tunnel. So we're coming to a tabletop and we're going to find cats and cows. Taking it slowly or quickly, whatever works for you. And we pause. We're going to take a little time in this posture, finding power in the belly, in the tailbone, across the shoulder blades. Your head can hang or be, your nose can point directly to the ground, but do not be lifting your head and squeezing your voice box. Find your integrity here. What's in your mind? What are you embracing in your heart? Your breath. What do you feel and where do you feel it in this posture, whether it's emotion or physical, visceral feeling? We're going to go ahead and shoot the right leg behind us with the ball of the foot on the ground. Take a little forward and backward motion here. And the next time your shoulders come over your wrists, float that leg off the mat, reach the heel behind you, square up your hips. If you like more of a challenge in this balance, the left arm floats in front. We're going to pause here. Finding integrity, the whole, the unification of all aspects of not just the posture but of being human. Knee and elbow draw together. Inhale, extend. 2 more times, take your time. Left hand comes down, right leg sweeps over the left calf, and it lands, your foot lands, shoelace side down outside your mat. So you can glide the front of your left hip toward your right heel. You might come here to forearms. Creating a little real estate between your shoulder blades. And if you're not feeling that much opening in the left glutes, maybe you tuck your right toes under. Lift the right knee and then reach that heel farther away. Working toward unification of the whole here. Not too much effort, but not leaving out challenge. What pleases you about this posture? We come back to a 3-legged dog with the right leg lifted and draw that right knee toward your right elbow or tricep. Inhale, extend, and then bring the knee back down. Your body might call for some organic movement here. Go ahead and take that. hip circles, hula hoop shapes, cats and cows, rocking back and forth. And we return to the tabletop. This time, the left leg reaches behind, ball of foot on the ground, and we open up the calf, the sole of the foot, the Achilles heel. Really working it. Press the shoelace side of the right foot into the earth. Shoulders over wrist, left leg floats. Right arm floats. Knee to elbow. Extend. And again. One more time. Left hand down, left knee above the left elbow. Extend it back out, square up those hips, sweep the left leg above the right calf, and scoot the front of the left hip toward the right heel. Take your time. You might bring your forearms to the ground, spread your fingers wide. You might even float the knee. Rise back up, left leg lifts, and then drop the knee. We're going to find our way into child's pose. I'm sure some of you wish we had done that at the start. I won't mention any names. Knees really, really wide. And if you have trouble bending your knees really far, you can always place a towel or a blanket rolled up behind your knees. If your head is not resting on something, make that your hands stacked, or a blanket or cushion or blocks. This is a perfect spot to find, develop, establish, suddenly discover an intention for this practice. Of course, thematically, we are working on integrity, unification of the whole, or to the whole from the parts. But you might have another intention here. It might be associated with what it is that brought you to your mat, or something else to do with the day or the weekend. It isn't meant to take you off track from the yoga practice, but when you have a stated intention, even stated internally, it gives you the opportunity to embody that, to sort of pursue it without effort. What do you feel here? What are you embracing? What are you pushing away from yourself? Is there an emotion coming up that you don't want to face? Is there a part of the body that's cranky and you're saying sort of, you're really annoying today? Let's eliminate the negative talk, the sort of downward spiraling of the itty bitty shitty committee. And let's find what's good. What part of the body can we embrace? Bring your palms together. The pinky fingers are on the ground. The head is on the ground. Bend your elbows, hands behind your neck. You might stay here as you're feeling the underarms and the rib cage grow and expand. Or you might have space to one at a time crawl the elbows forward, creating greater length without lifting the sitting bones farther away from your heels. Breathe in. Let it go. Hands return to the mat, fingers nice and wide. We are going to make our way into a downward dog. So you might come into your tabletop first, Bring your hands forward a little bit. I'm not sure I can do this with my wrist, but I'm going to try. Tuck your toes and lift your hips. Nope, cannot do. There we go. Pedal into your feet. Oh my. My weight is rolling all the way across the floor. And then draw your heels toward the mat. It's a direction, not a destination. Rise up to the tiptoes and then press your chest toward your thighs. That energy is connected. Heels drop down. Nod your head, shake your head. Make your way to the front of the mat for a forward fold. You might find a rag doll or some other bind feels really good here. Take a sway. You might soften your knees. Is there anything out of integrity here? How is the body feeling? Do you need to adjust something? The breath, emotions, self-talk. Release your hands, bigger sway left and right. Hands to your shins, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Get a nice long spine here. Exhale, forward fold. If you have low back issues on your rise up, you're going to breathe out. Otherwise, you're welcome to breathe in. Coming to standing and lifting the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Upright. Embracing all the parts of your being, physical and otherwise. And if you're like me, sometimes things float into my head that are not part of my integrity, the parts of my job that I don't like. The political and social climate. The fact that this is peak season for the colors in the leaves. How can I come to accept those and embrace them? I can do so through my own response. Just because I think it doesn't mean I have to react. Not bottling in the emotions necessarily, but kind of opening your arms to them. Hands drop to the sides. Arms sweep high. We interlace the fingers and send the palms toward the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, tilt to the left. Breathe in, get tall. Exhale, tilt the other way. Rise up, feet a little wider. Hands reach high, pinkies come and face one another. We're going to take our little sort of sweepy, ski, cherry kind of thing. So we're going to whoosh back and forward, arms back, chest forward. Inhale, rise up. Do it again. Whoosh, and up. And again. Whoosh, and up. And again, we stay here. Whoosh. Feet are parallel to the outer edge of the mat. We drop the hands. We press the floor away with the feet and lift the hips so the head is lower than the hips. Bring your feet as wide as your mat. Left fingertips on the ground under your nose. Bend your left knee, straighten your right knee without locking your leg. On an inhale, rise up. On an exhale, twist. Opening up the IT band on the right side. So if you don't feel that, you can do a couple of things. One is to make sure you're twisting from your navel. The other is to straighten your left leg. Another could be to bring your feet closer together. Oh, I had a really nice spine pop there. You can always take a half bind and press into the outer edge of that right foot. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Straighten your left leg, bend your right knee. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, twist. Left arm up or behind. Checking in with that left leg. Unbending your knee. My knee loves to rebend. And if you need more here, feet can come closer together. You can do more to twist from the belly, or you can or straighten your right leg. Exhale, hands to the earth. Bend your knees, bring your forearms to your thighs, and interlace your fingers the awkward way. I know you did it the normal way, and it feels good. Do it the awkward way. Cats and cows here. Straighten the spine, bring the hands to the thighs. Keep your feet wide and slowly press your way to stand. Bring your feet in just hips width distance. And find the place where your femur meets your hips. So not above the hips, but below. Find that little crease. Go ahead and step the left foot halfway back on the mat. Should have a wide enough stance and a long enough stance where you can find equilibrium in weight between your feet. So you might rock around or roll around or rock and roll around for the Hall of Fame. All right, both sets of toes pointing forward, or the left toes maybe a little bit to the upper left corner of the mat. Square up your hips, fold halfway down. Fold all the way down, grab blocks if you need them. Prajnatanasana. Square up those hips, press into the ball of your front foot and the heel of the back foot. Bring your hands forward, lift your left leg. Step into a runner's lunge. So your left foot comes back farther. Bring your hands back. Find power in that back leg. This is a place where integrity is really critical. The unity, the wholeness of all of the muscles and all of the piece parts, really, really important here. I'm going to keep the left hand down and twist with the right arm high. Keep that left heel reaching back. Right hand comes down to the mat. We're going to float, so you might shorten your stance a teeny bit, hovering over the right thigh, like we're on the bow of a ship. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open up for your crescent warrior. Some of us need to bend our back knee to do that. That's okay. Depends on how tight your Achilles and your thigh are. Big breath in, step into chair pose, exhale, Utkatasana. Nice. Not that easy for all of us. Hands come behind you, fingers interlace or hook or heels of the hands to the low back. And once again, we draw the knuckles down and open up the heart. Stay in your chair. Draw the belly button in and up. And fold, maintain your bind. Hands can float away or not. Exhale, release the hands, halfway lift. And a forward fold. Rise back up to stand. East-west pose, left arm forward, right arm behind. Be careful you're not twisting your hips away from the front of your mat. It might mean less of a twist, but that's okay. We draw the arms forward, lock them back in to our shoulders, and twist the other way. Draw the arms back into the shoulders, sit into chair, and now scoot your bottom forward, your pelvis, your tailbone, and we're going to round a little bit, pressing the low back away from us and reaching the arms in front. And breathe, squeezing the rib cage toward the hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rise up, hands to your heart, mountain pose. Many of us are near or among mountains. And as I've said, especially as the season changes, it's a good time to be grounded in your root chakra, which is at your very low pelvis, all the way down to the ground. Color red is what connects you to material things, to this world. So imagine you are your favorite mountain, steady, sturdy, with integrity. And now picture yourself, your grounded self, in your favorite season. What are the colors and the scents and the tastes, the sounds, the sights, the touch? If your favorite season is winter, maybe it's imagining or re-experiencing the touch of your clothing or the coolness on your face. Maybe if your favorite season is autumn, maybe your whole being is full of gold and butterscotches and cinnamons and nutmegs and cloves and bright red, deep cherry red, pink. Bring your hands to your hips. Once again, find the crease where the thigh meets the hips. Bring your feet a little wider, and this time we step the right foot back halfway. We roll around on our feet, we move them around to find equilibrium in our stance. We don't want to be all the way back on the back foot or way front on the front foot. We are, as it were, feet all the way on the ground. Whether your arches are flat or super arched, you have equilibrium. Hips are square with the front of the mat. We fold halfway down. We're pushing a little bit that left hip back with the left hand. And then we exhale all the way down to the ground or our blocks. Hands crawl forward, or you can take your blocks with you. That right leg lifts, doesn't have to float very high. And then we step back into our runner's lunge. Sometimes you gotta scoot with the ball of the back foot backwards, so you're longer, to allow the chest and the belly energy to draw away from the thigh. You want a lot of power in the back leg. So if all of your energy is in your front leg, your quad is going to get super hard, super sore, and you're not working. You're sort of ignoring the opportunity for integrity throughout the body and the breath. Right hand down, left arm high for your twist. Keep that left knee right above the left ankle. Next breath out, hand down to the mat. Set yourself up, making sure you're balanced, because we're going to hover over the thigh. Nice back bend, beautiful long spine, full integrity from the back toes and heel all the way to the crown of the head, from the fingertips all the way down, all the way to the crown of the head, and then from the heart or belly all the way down to the left toes. Rise up, crescent. One more time, chair pose. Take your time getting there. Utkatasana. Rise to the balls of the feet, working on the integrity of the ankles and the feet. Heels down, lift the balls of the feet. Spread the toes wide, one at a time, starting with the pinky toes, bring them down to the mat. Lift up, beautiful. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to go down to the mat, halfway lift. Breathe out for your forward fold. Step back, high plank. You're welcome to make your way into a downward dog through the rest of your vinyasa or right there. Heel forward to your plank. Drop your knees. We'll find our back bend. Starting with Anhatasana, the hips right over the knees. We really need integrity in this posture. The mind knowing where the body parts need to be for safety, but also to get the most out of the back bend. So the hands will walk forward until the forehead, chin, or chest remains on the mat. The bottom is reaching toward the sky. The tops of the feet press to the earth. Fingers nice and wide. And the heart, allowing for some vulnerability because now you're facing the earth. Earth is sort of cleansing and hugging the heart. You're going to tuck your tailbone, stretch your legs back, and come into a sphinx. So the shoulders are right over the elbows, fingers nice and wide, bony hips touching the ground. If you have low back issues, make your feet a little wider. Make your feet wider. Move your feet farther apart. Now it's as if we're dragging the mat back with the fingers, the pads of the fingers and the thumbs and the forearm. And the shoulder blades draw together. And we breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way down to the mat. You can spread your arms a bit. Left cheek to the earth. Maybe windshield wiper your legs left and right. Right cheek comes to the mat. Forehead to the mat, hands by your sides, palms face down. And see if you can sneak your hands closer to your feet. We're going to work into our locust. So head, collarbones, maybe your chest forward and up. Belly strong, maybe your hands float. Belly strong, maybe your legs float. Squeeze the shoulder blades and we breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Child's pose. Because I'd like to fit in pigeon, we're going to come up to our knees and just going to take some nice little twists, taking your time left and right here. Twists are really good after back bends, but I do want to work in pigeon. So we're going to come to tabletop and take the right ankle and place it behind your left hand. Scoot your left leg back so it's coming straight out of the hip. Use a prop if you need it underneath your right glute. You might take a back bend first, or maybe you simply fold over your leg. I like to use my hands in fists and stacked to reach my head. Loosen the shoulders. Find your integrity in this posture, a unified breath with a relaxation of the body. Feeling the physical impact, letting the breath move there. Checking in with your self-talk. Noticing what you experience. Not good, not bad, not black, not white. What is what you experience. Hands under your shoulders. Come back to your tabletop. Switch your prop if you think you need it on the other side. And then we bring the left ankle behind the right wrist. A lot of work for me with my wrists. We scoot that right leg back. Prop up our butt if we need to. And find your fold. Loosen shoulders. Elbows might bend and move outward. And rise back up. Swing your right leg around. Soles of the feet come together. We find our way onto our forearms and then all the way onto the ground. Knees can come into your chest or you find a happy baby. 3 breaths wherever you are. And then your Shavasana. Big breath in. Huge breath out. Shoulders scoot down and in, shoulder blades. No effort. The integrity, the wholeness of this posture, all about allowing the breath to come effortlessly, the body to be comfortable and in a receptive position, the heart open, the mind open. One at a time, the knees come into the chest, give them a good squeeze. And then rock yourself back to a seat while we close our practice with a single chant of Om. Hands to your heart. Exhale all the air from your lungs. Breathe in fully. Thumb knuckles connect right at your center forehead. May you find unity in all you do. Namaste. And for those of you who might be in and around Vermont today at 1 o'clock, we have a mantra, music, and yoga practice. Some folks who come will be sitting in chairs or lying on mats, not practicing the physical practice, and other people will do so. We have special guests, Gershon and Gina, who are joining us for the music and the teaching, which I'm super looking forward to taking that class. Not available on video, but thought I would offer just in case. And then keep your eyes open for some stuff coming up over the next few months. And don't forget to check out our website and our newsletter. Thank you all so much. Have a great day. Bye.